Here's the big question. What can we do to prevent data loss by email? Before we begin with a practical example in Microsoft M365, let's look at how a DLP solution detects. There's a whole variety of different DLPs or data leakage prevention solutions exist, and they all work in different types of ways. Some of them work by data matching using techniques such as regular expressions. These are commonly used to identify things such as emails that contain credit card numbers or blank account numbers. A regular expression is well suited for detecting this type of data. Another technique uses data classification. Microsoft Azure Information Protection and Bolden James solutions use data classification techniques. You can then configure policies in your environment to ensure that they only contain certain classifications of data that can be shared in a particular way. User behavior analytics is really all about looking at user patterns, trying to identify outliers or unusual behaviors. Once this occurs, alerts are usually triggered for further investigation. So, if a user suddenly starts sending large volumes of data outside the organization via email, it could trigger an alert for investigation. Now, email filtering solutions are commonly incorporated, packaged within the DLP features itself. Any outbound email filtering solution typically has ability to read email contents, including attachments, and can be used to configure various outbound protection policies, including data loss prevention policies. Let's have a look at some DLP in practice. We're going to switch over and configure some DLP policies in Microsoft M365 Platform. To configure the DLP policies within Microsoft M365, let's open a browser and connect to the protection.office.com. That just takes a moment to open, and when it fully opens, we can see that on the left-hand side menu bar, there's an option for data loss prevention. Expand that menu and click on Policy. Any existing policies for DLP that you configured will appear here. Let's go ahead and create our DLP policy for Globomantics. Click on the Create Policy option, and that will open the policy creation wizard. As you can see, there are a number of different categories of data that the default DLP policies within the Office 365 can detect, including financial, medical, and privacy. They have organized these based on the category, the data type, and also the country that they are most applicable to. So if we select United States of America, we can see that the financial DLP policies associated with that region appear. We can also see that there are templated policies for general data protection or GDPR, which can also be selected. Let's select US financial data, as this most accurately reflects the data we are trying to protect for Globomantics, for example. Let's give this a policy name. I'm going to go ahead and put Globomantics down here and a slight description so that you know what the policy is referring to. Now the next step in the wizard asks you what data you want to protect. You have the option of choosing all that's under Microsoft Office 365, or indeed confining the protection to email or OneDrive or Teams chat and so on. For our example, we are just going to select all data sources within Office 365, and that will give us maximum coverage. What we can also tell the policy to detect when the content is protecting is shared with people outside your organization. This is one of the main purposes for your data loss prevention and preventing data leaving your organization. The next step in the wizard tells the policy what to do if it detects sensitive information. Now you can also show tooltip or policy tips to the user to give some feedback in various different Microsoft Office. But also you can set a threshold. For instance, if you wanted to be alerted if there were, in this case, 10 instances of the same sensitive information type being detected, that might indicate a major data exfiltration. You may want to manage that with an alert. You can always block or allow people from sharing this type of sensitive information. Sometimes it may be appropriate to allow users to override the policy configuration, but you should also really do this with caution. Finally, you can turn on the policy straight away, or what I like to do is run it as a test a few times to make sure everything is working okay. It gives you a summary before you hit the final create button and implements the policy. Let's hit create and policy will be created. And there's our policy. It's now appearing on the list and we have a summary of policy characteristics. This is a very basic data loss prevention or data leakage prevention created for default Office 365 feature set. There are many products on the market. All the other major vendors like Symantec, McAfee, ForcePoint, and many others. Hopefully this has given you a flavor of how easy it is to configure a data leakage prevention policy in your environment. Now, share this video with whom you think will benefit by watching this, and until your next information security video, bye now.